everything has its roots. And so it's important to recognize that, just being informed musicians and historians.
Hi, welcome to SoundBites From Home, a visual podcast featuring students, faculty, and staff from the Department of Performing Arts at American University. I'm your host, Andrew Brown, and today's guest is Zachary Mills, a fiddle player, folk musician, and audio technology student at American University. So tell me your year and what your official major at American is.
Yeah, so my year is, I'm a senior, class of 2021.
Nice.
And my official major is, right now, I'm pursuing a BA in audio production and a BA in music performance.
So how'd you get involved with the audio production? Because not a lot of folks at American or across the world even know that American has an audio team. So tell me a little bit about how you discovered it, how you're getting involved with it, stuff like that.
So I was interested, like, obviously coming out of high school, in audio, and so I did a Google search, and I was like just curious to see like which schools had some of the best programs in audio and music recording and music production, and AU came up as just being like a really great option, and along with a couple other schools like Emerson School of Music in Berkeley in Boston. But AU like stood out as just having a great program, and it's held up to be one of really coolest educational opportunities that I've had so far. I got into audio through music. I started playing, as a young kid, like in elementary school, just the Suzuki method, which is like a pretty popular way for like a lot of kids that like come up in the school. But it was never my thing. Like I wasn't really vibing with the classical music. But when I was 12, I I went to this summer camp called Young Traditions Vermont, and it was a bunch of folk musicians teaching, and so it was folk tunes and fiddle tunes, banjo classes, mandolin, acoustic guitar, fiddle, shape note singing, a cappella, like you name it. So just like really old like folkloric music traditions that were being taught, and taught by older staff members, like really experienced professional musicians that had been in the scene in the New England folk scene, and spreading these tunes down to like these younger generation kiddos whose parents are at work or whatever throughout the summertime and stuff. So that's how I got into it, and then from there it kind of just like exploded off into like many different directions.
Tell me more about the solo album you got going on.
A little bit of everything, really. It's got some Irish music. It's got some like French Breton music. It's got some old-timey Appalachian music, some contemporary music of mine. So it's kind of a collab project, but I've been recording it and producing it and then arranging it for the past like 2 or 3 years.
So if somebody was really interested in about the stuff you're saying, but didn't know how to get into it, what would you recommend as like first steps?
Hit me up. Like, no kidding. But like honestly, like hit me up. Like I'll tell you, like it depends like what they're really trying to do, because there's so much obviously you can learn just from like getting your nose dirty in Google and like going on YouTube and like doing all that stuff. But if you're trying to learn like about folk music, if you're trying to learn about like record production, if you want to learn about like traditional folklore, fiddle music, I'm your guy.
All right. You heard it from him. Hit up Zachary Mills and he'll get you going. Thanks for being part of the program, and looking forward to hearing you back on campus.
Thanks, dog.
Yeah, later.
See you later, man.